and it's light.
Hey, brothers, did you hear that? Did you hear what the little mamba stated when KobeBryant conjured up the crystal ball? It stated the crystal ball of Kansas City. Why is that? Remember the film Wizard of Oz? When Dorothy had to travel from the physical world into the spirit world, she had to go over the rainbow. She had to leave Kansas. Kansas represents understanding at a very, very low level. Basic understanding. When you're able to go to Wonderland or Oz or Neverland or, for modern day Negroes, Wakanda, that represents a trip over the Rainbow Bridge. The Rainbow Bridge is the connection from the physical world to the spiritual world. Dorothy's third eye was opened. Okay? In the same way in the film E.T. When E.T. spoke to Elliot at the very end of the film, and E.T. represented Pan, E.T. pointed to Elliot's third eye and told him, "I'll be right here." E.T. was a conjured spirit that Elliot was able to communicate with over Halloween, because Halloween is a so-called holiday that, from the Celtic occultic understandings, allowed demonic spirits to come from the spirit world into the physical world and imbue you with a higher level of understanding. Remember, what the film E.T. was actually about was a young boy who was looking for guidance and inspiration. And that's where E.T. came in. And remember, when E.T. left, he went back over the Rainbow Bridge. I've mentioned this in other videos. When you watch the film Thor, Thor is just a Nordic version of Superman. He and Loki, who represents his twin counterpart, his Gemini counterpart, they go to war with one another on the Rainbow Bridge. The Rainbow Bridge went from Asgard all the way to any of the quote-unquote 9 realms. Okay? So in all these films, they're trying to teach you the same thing. They're trying to slowly introduce the populace at large to Luciferian principles and ideologies and make you comfortable with them. And you're going to see, especially in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as they progress into their third phase, that they're going to start introducing more and more homosexual images, female supremacy images in these films. I'm going to mention that. I'm going to delve a little bit more into that in other videos. But Kobe's telling you right here that in order for you to be an ultimate champion, in his view, you have to delve into Luciferianism, because that's what he was taught by his teachers.
Do you know the spell? Oh, I do.
Hey, brothers. For those of you who told me that Kobe's not dealing with Luciferianism or witchcraft, did you hear what he just said? He asked the serpent, "Do you know the spell?" Remember in part 1, a book appeared over his head, and I said, "What?" I said, "That looks like a spell book." Remember that? Go back and watch part 1. He's confirming that right here. He's a witch. Let me rewind this back.
Do you know the spell? Oh, I do. We learned it in Musology 101. Crystal ball. Show me your secrets. Show me them all. I want to see Russell. I want to see James. Teach me. Better my game.
All right, I'm going to pause it right here, because now they're going to go into some highlights with James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Point being is this: what KobeBryant just acted as if he was teaching the serpent how to do is something in witchcraft circles known as scrying. S-C-R-Y-I-N-G. S-C-R-Y-I-N-G. So when you look into a reflective surface and you're able to see the future, allegedly see the future, really you're trying to project what you want your future to be into a reflective object so that you can put yourself into a trance, open up your third eye, and try to make those things your new reality. Scrying is a practice that goes back to the ancient Babylonian Kemetic mystery school system. comes from the mother goddess, quote unquote mother goddess, known as Hathor. She had a reflective shield, what they call the magic mirror. In the magic mirror, she could always reveal the truth. And you'll see Mother Goddess worship all across the society today. Many modern Luciferian liberal black women now are trying to promote worship of the Mother Goddess. So many of you brothers better watch out for that, because many of them are adherents to the Mother Goddess worship system. Please keep that in mind. That's the same mentality that's causing so much antipathy between the so-called black man and black woman. But once again, what you just saw from Kobe and that serpent, and as I've been telling you in the last two parts, the serpent is playing a role. It's acting as if it's a student so that Kobe can be put in a glorified position, but the serpent is actually the teacher. Okay? Known in the ancient cultures as Asclepios, the teaching serpent. That's why you have, in Rome, you have the Vatican, which is known as the House of Serpents. That's what the Pope is. What is the Pope? Who is the Pope? The Pope is just a modern-day vicar of the great high priest of the Babylonian Kemetic mystery school system. Starting all the way back from Cush and Nimrod. They held the crook and the flail. They wore the headpiece of the pharaoh. Compare the headpiece of the pharaoh with the headpiece of the Pope. The Pope wears the headpiece of Dagon, the fish head. Because after Asar was killed, he was thrown into the river and he emerged out as a fish, as a new man, half fish out of the waters, reborn, reinvigorated. So the Pope wears the headpiece of Dagon. He also carries what's known as the lightus, the bent staff, which is just a modern day crook. Also known in the witchcraft circles as the magic wand. When you watch the Star Wars films, what they call the lightsaber is actually just the magic wand. That's all that is. Or you watch the Harry Potter films, they have that long wooden branch that they hold and they can fire bolts out of it. That's just a lightsaber. That's a magic wand. It's all talking about the same thing. That's why Harry Potter has that lightning bolt in the middle of his head. That lightning bolt represents enlightenment, opening of his third eye, the pineal gland. The god Agni in the ancient Hindu religion also had that lightning bolt in the middle of his forehead. For those of you brothers who are familiar with certain comic book characters, there's a comic book character known as Shazam in DC. He has that lightning bolt on his chest. They use comics and comic book movies to introduce a lot of witchcraft principles to the public. That's why you'll see many of these comic book characters wear costumes that have a red and blue color theme. The bringing together of the red level and the blue level, fire and ice, as above, so below. Those are Saturnian principles, the bringing together of opposites. Okay?